The Bridgerton family is about to face their biggest scandal yet, and Benedict is the one holding the match. The Part 2 trailer just dropped, and what it reveals is so explosive that it makes every previous season look like child's play. If you thought the drama with Daphne pretending to be taken, or Colin discovering Penelope was Lady Whistledown was intense, buckle up, because Benedict Bridgerton is standing at a crossroads that doesn't just affect his love life. This affects the entire Bridgerton legacy, and based on what we're seeing in this trailer, he's choosing the path that could destroy everything the family has built over generations. The letter that changed everything. The trailer wastes no time throwing us into the deep end. Benedict wrote Sophie a letter. Not just any letter, but the kind of letter you write when you're desperate and in love and don't know what else to do. And Sophie's response? She didn't give him one. She ignored it completely. But here's where it gets brutal. When Benedict confronts her about it, Sophie doesn't sugarcoat anything. She says, "I do not wish to see you," not "I'm busy," or "maybe later," or any of the polite excuses people use when they're trying to let someone down easy. She straight up tells him she doesn't want to see him.
You did not answer my letter.
Because I do not wish to see you.
That's a rejection that would make most people walk away and never look back. Except Benedict isn't most people. He's a Bridgerton, and Bridgertons don't take no for an answer. Oh, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. But this isn't Anthony fighting for Kate, or Colin realizing his feelings for Penelope. This is different. This is messier. This is a situation where there's no clear path forward because society has built walls so high that climbing them seems impossible. The mistress proposal. Then Benedict asks the question that makes everything 10 times worse. He wants to know what Sophie expects him to do. How else is he supposed to be with a woman that society has made it impossible for him to marry? And the implication hanging in the air is clear. If marriage is off the table, maybe there's another arrangement they could make. Sophie shuts that down so fast, it's like watching someone slam a door in Benedict's face. She says being a mistress is the last thing she wants.
What do you mean to do?
Being a mistress is the last thing I would ever want.
How else am I to be with a woman society has made it impossible for me to be with?
And she's right to refuse because becoming someone's mistress in Regency England wasn't some romantic setup. It was a situation where the woman had no power, no rights, and no future. She'd be completely dependent on Benedict's goodwill, and the moment he got bored or his family pressured him to marry someone appropriate, she'd be tossed aside with nothing. But you can see the desperation in Benedict's question. He's not trying to insult Sophie. He's genuinely asking how they're supposed to be together when every rule of society says they can't. And that's the tragedy of their situation. They found each other, they fell in love, and now the world is telling them that's not enough. Someone in the trailer tells Benedict he needs to be brave and not let fear stop his heart from speaking.
You must be brave. You cannot let fear stop you from letting your heart speak.
That sounds like good advice until you realize what being brave actually means in this situation. It means going against everything he's been taught. It means potentially losing his family. It means becoming the Bridgerton that everyone whispers about for all the wrong reasons. The awkward encounter. What follows is possibly the most uncomfortable scene in Bridgerton history. Benedict shows up wherever Sophie is working. She's clearly in her servant role, and when she sees him, she doesn't light up. She doesn't smile. She calls him Mr. Bridgerton with a tone so cold it could freeze the Thames in summer. He asks if she needs something. She says no. And then there's this silence that stretches out like someone pulling taffy. This is Benedict Bridgerton, the charming artist who always knew exactly what to say to make people laugh or feel at ease. And now, he's standing there like a schoolboy who forgot his lines in the class play.
Sophie.
Mr. Bridgerton, do you need something?
No.
This scene matters because it shows us how far their relationship has fallen. There's no flirting here, no banter, no chemistry bubbling under the surface. There's just two people who love each other but can't figure out how to exist in the same space without it being painful. But then Benedict drops a bomb. He says, "I found it." 2 words that change the entire game.
I found it.
We don't know what he found. Maybe it's proof of Sophie's real identity. Maybe it's evidence that she's not just a servant. Maybe it's something that would make their relationship possible in the eyes of society. Whatever it is, Benedict thinks this is the answer to all their problems. The pain beneath the surface. Sophie finally lets her guard down and tells Benedict the truth. "You hurt me." 3 words that carry the weight of every moment they've been apart. Every time she's had to pretend she doesn't care. Every time she's had to watch him from a distance, knowing they can't be together. All of that pain comes out in those 3 words. Benedict asks when she stops thinking about him. And Sophie fires back asking when he stops thinking about her. His answer is devastating. Every moment of every day. That's not the confession of someone who's casually interested. That's someone who's completely consumed by another person. Someone who can't eat or sleep or focus on anything else because all they can think about is the person they can't have.
You hurt me. When do you stop to think about me?
Every moment of every day.
But then Benedict says something that reveals the real problem. "I cannot love a maid." There it is. The ugly truth. Society has trained him so thoroughly that even though his heart is screaming that Sophie is the one, his brain is fighting back. He's been raised to believe that Bridgertons marry people of their own class, that marrying below your station is unthinkable, that love isn't enough if it comes with the wrong last name. Except he immediately contradicts himself. And yet, you have taken possession of me.
I cannot love a maid. And yet, you have taken possession of me.
So which is it, Benedict? Can you love a maid or can't you? Because this back and forth is exactly why Sophie is protecting herself. She knows he's torn. She knows he's fighting an internal war between what he wants and what he thinks he should want, and she's not going to sit around waiting for him to figure it out. The real enemy. Lady Whistledown's narration cuts through with a line that explains everything. For beings from opposing worlds, the desire is not the problem, but the world itself.
For beings from opposing worlds, the desire is not the problem, but the world itself.
This isn't a story about two people who don't love each other enough. This is a story about a system designed to keep certain people apart. Benedict and Sophie wanting each other isn't the issue. The issue is that everything about their society is built to make sure people like them never end up together. Someone tells Benedict that he's convinced himself Sophie is reason enough to risk everything.
You've convinced yourself that she is reason enough to risk everything.
And that's the million-dollar question. Is she? Because risking everything doesn't just mean Benedict loses his social standing. It means Violet has to watch her son throw away his future. It means Eloise and Francesca and Hyacinth and Gregory all have to deal with the whispers and the judgment. It means the Bridgerton name, which has been spotless for generations, gets a stain. The weight of that choice is crushing. Benedict isn't just deciding his own future. He's deciding the future for everyone who shares his last name. The breaking point. Sophie says something that hits different than anything else in the trailer. We're not born simply to work and die.
You're not born simply to work and die. You are in love, are you not?
She's been a servant her entire life. She's been told where to stand, how to speak, who to look at, who to ignore. She's been reminded every single day that people like her don't matter, that they exist to serve the wealthy and then fade away. And she's done accepting that story. This line reveals that Sophie isn't just fighting for Benedict, she's fighting for herself. She's fighting for the idea that maybe, just maybe, she deserves more than a life of scrubbing floors and keeping her head down. Maybe she deserves love. Maybe she deserves happiness. Maybe she deserves to be seen as more than just a servant. Someone asks Benedict if he's in love. The answer is obvious. But then comes the line that makes everything fall apart. There is one sacrifice you will have to make. Your family.
There is one sacrifice you will have to make. Your family.
Not your money, not your title, not your position in society. Your family. The people who raised you, the people who love you, the people who would do anything for you. That's the price of choosing Sophie. Benedict has to decide if love is worth losing the Bridgertons. The final question. The trailer asks, what is love in the face of society? And Benedict explodes. I've had quite enough of the demands of society.
What is the love in the face of society?
I've had quite enough of the demands of society.
He's done playing by the rules. He's done caring what people think. He's done letting other people tell him who he can and cannot love. But Lady Whistledown ends everything with the most terrifying line possible. Whatever you choose, you must live with it forever.
Whatever you choose, you must live with it forever.
Forever is a really long time. If Benedict chooses Sophie, he loses his family and has to live knowing he's the one who broke them. If he chooses his family, he loses Sophie and spends the rest of his life wondering what could have been. There's no take-backs, there's no do-overs, there's just the choice, and then living with the consequences for the rest of his life. One, the Part 2 trailer shows us a Benedict who's ready to burn everything down for love. But the real question isn't whether he'll choose Sophie. The question is whether he can survive what comes after. Because judging by the look on his face in that final shot, whatever choice he makes is going to haunt him, and the Bridgerton family will never be the same.